Welcome back to Week 8 action of the Piggy Bank Power League. Leading off the docket this week, we've got the New Jersey Hustlers and the Blasters. The Hustlers coming off, so far, a disappointing season, 2-5 after an early playoff exit. Here they've got the bases loaded, but double play and a heads-up play by Lou Salinas goes to the out at home and they out at first to end the inning. Coming up here is the top of the second. We got a man on third after the triple, and a sac fly is going to bring that run home. 1-0 Hustlers. Bottom of the fourth here, Edgar Sullivan is going to hit one into the gap. Philhouse reaches down, can't quite grab it. Has to go all the way to the wall, and that runner is going to score all the way from first. Sullivan stops at second, no throw home, 1-1. Bottom of the sixth here, Veritable Kelly lays down a sac bunt. Catcher thinks about it, but changes his mind, gets the out. 1-2. Blasters take the lead, and a Lion leg strong is going to keep that runner moving. RBI single there, but the second runner gets absolutely smoked at home. It's now 3-1 and the inning is over. Keaton Hurst, top of the eighth with a man on. Does he have the distance? Center fielder leaps. He doesn't have it. It's 3-3. Keaton Hurst ties it up with a bomb to center field. Absolutely smoked. 418 feet, his second home run of the season. And that's going to take us to the bottom of the 12th here. Runner on first, one out. Can't quite make the play. Goes for the out at second. Doesn't get it. Goes to the out at first for no reason. He was safe by a mile. The ball's out of play. And the game's over. 4-3. The Blasters win on maybe the stupidest play you'll see all season. Maybe ever. It's possible. Possible that was the stupidest play you've ever seen. Next up, we've got two teams sitting at 3-4. One of them is going to make it into the midseason break at 500. Drink and Drive and the Nice Steak Dingers. Two fan favorites here. We've got Thomas Butters up with the bases loaded, nobody out, and he's going to absolutely smoke one. Just sneaks over the wall. It's left center field. That is a grand slam with no outs in the top of the first. It's 4-0, but the Dingers are going to get out of this one without any further damage. Bottom of the first here is Light Long Pants with a runner on third. She's going to hit a gapper there all the way to the wall. She rounds first. Runner scores. And she's in there. RBI double. 4-1. Drink and Drive. Top of the third now. Thomas Butters is back up. Just down the line. Sneaks over the bag. The runner on second is going to cash. And he's going to make it in to second himself. Replaces the runner. 5-1 from the RBI double. Next up in the bottom of the fourth is Light Long Pants again, and she's going to hit a solo home run here. 5-2, all 7 of the runs in this game by way of Thomas Butters and Light Long Pants. Very funny. Love when that happens. Just two players doing their best to win the game for their teams. Nobody else really doing anything at all. And wouldn't you guess, it's Thomas Butters again. He's going to hit into an RBI double play here. 2 outs in exchange for a run, but he's got 6 RBIs on the day. Top of the seventh now, Yannick Manning is going to scoop this one out of the bottom of the zone. And it's got a little bit of height. Center fielder leaps, doesn't quite get it. It just scrapes over the wall, and Yannick Manning is going to grab the solo home run here. 413 feet is going to make it 7-2 for Drink and Drive. Top of the seventh still, we've got Johnny McBride coming up here with a runner on first, and he just absolutely unloads on this one. Right field, center fielder's just disappeared. He's gone. He knows this ball's gone. That is way, way, way out of here. 2-run home run for Johnny McBride. Yannick Manning and Johnny McBride, both their first home runs of the season. Congratulations to them. That's going to make it 9-2 for Drink and Drive. Top of the ninth here, Sergio Cleverly is going to get one of his own. That's going way deep into left center field. No doubt about that one. Halfway up the seats, 10-2 Drink and Drive after Sergio Cleverly goes a yard here. 450 feet, absolute nuke. His third of the year. 5 RBIs on the season. And we cut to the bottom of the ninth here. Induces a soft ground out. That's Dustin Bolger going the distance here. Complete game. Not often something you see in the Piggy Bank Power League, but Dustin Bolger gets it done. 17 hits for Drink and Drive to the Dingers 5. Game ends 10-2. And Dustin Bolger, 5 hits allowed, only 2 runs, a walk, 2 strikeouts, gave up 1 single home run, and goes all 9 innings. Well done, Dustin Bolger. And jumping into the rest of the games for Week 8, starting off with the RNG Legends and the Crown Princes. Heidi Hamsteak is going to take the lead late in the 6th with a solo shot, making it 1-0 Legends. McUtter is going to hit a sac fly to extend that lead, and Hamsteak will ice it with another solo homer. 3-0 Legends are going to take this one. Next up, we got the Ball Hogs versus the Dragons. Craig and Pugh put up 2 early for the Hogs. Kane Marquez, though, takes over the lead with a go-ahead 3-run home run. The Hogs get this one right back with an RBI single from Roosevelt, and Wankerstein is going to load the bases and bean the batter to give the lead back to the Dragons. Mallory Pugh, though, ties it up at 4 with an RBI double, and in the 7th inning, Bryson Kelly scores 2 on a single, and the game finishes there. 6-4, Dragons take this one. Crown Princes versus Sacktown Scrimps. Early action as both teams tack on a run in the first couple innings, with Axe Arellano getting the Scrimps a 3-1 lead with a 2 RBI single afterwards. Brett Pineda reaches on an error. A run scores for the Princes, but the Scrimps, Harrison gets it right back, but in the game finishes there, 4-2 Scrimps. Their second win of the year. Last game of the week is going to be the Piss Missiles and the RNG Legends. Corinna Horn is going to launch a 2-run homer in the first for the Missiles. Phil House is going to add a sac fly to make it a 3-run lead. Excuse me, that's Porterhouse for the Piss Missiles. Pardon me. 3-run lead. Doyle, Hamsteak, Bradley, and Walter all cash in an RBI each to take the lead 4-3 in the bottom of the 7th for the Legends. Jensen is going to tie it up in the 8th for the Missiles, but they get in trouble in the bottom of the 9th. Bases loaded, and Angelis, the closer, gives up a walk-off walk. Legends win this one 5-4. All right, everybody. We are halfway through the Piggy Bank Power League season. 8 games played for just about every team. Let's take a look at some of the stats, standings, and interesting tidbits throughout the league here. As you see, the next game up is Drink It Dry versus the Stingers. Let's jump into the season standings. First and foremost, King Boo Bombers and the Blasters tied at 6-2 atop the leaderboard. Run differential tiebreaker going to the Bombers at plus 15. They currently have the 1 seed. As you all may know, top 8 teams out of 12 are going to make the playoffs here, and it is a straight seeded bracket. 1 will play 8, 2 will play 7, 3 will play 6, and 4 will play 5. No divisions or anything like that in this league, so that is where we sit right now. You'll notice the Stingers are 5-2. They are 1 game short. The RNG Legends are 5-4. They are 1 game over. So expect the Stingers perhaps could rise up here and be 7-2. 6-2 along with the Blasters and King Boo Bombers here after their 8th game. And the Legends could fall in the standings because they have played 1 extra game over everybody else. But currently, the teams on the outside looking in are the Crown Princes, the Nice Steak Dingers, the New Jersey Hustlers, and the Sacktown Scrimps. A lot of quality in these teams. I believe, if I recall correctly, the Hustlers, Scrimps, and Dingers all made the playoffs last year. But the teams that did not make the playoffs last year went out in the offseason and improved a lot. We have primarily the Ball Hogs and Wayfire Dragons. Those teams were just god-awful last year. Piss Missiles were pretty bad as well. And we have 4 teams sitting at 500 right now, 4-4. And the Crown Princes and Nice Steak Dingers at 3-5. So it's really anybody's ball game. Halfway through the season, not a whole lot separating these teams. Obviously, big jump between the 1 seed and the 12 seed, but that's just how it goes sometimes. They're still within striking distance, only 2 games back of the playoff spot. Same goes for these guys up here. Only 2 games safe from a playoff spot. King Boo Bombers go on a bad run. Anything could happen. You never know. All right. Next up, we're going to take a look at the league leaders. Who is doing the best this season? Our top 10 MVP and Cy Young Award list to be named later. We'll come up with a good name for that. But we see a lot of King Boo Bombers here. But the story of the season so far has been Blaze Frazier. Just absolutely unreal. Batting 500 halfway through the season. A 1265 slug and an almost 1800 OPS. 8 home runs, 14 RBIs, and a couple stolen bases just to tack it on. That is just ridiculous. Shiloh Fury and Peyton Peck both doing very well for the Bombers at the plate. Both rocking about a 1400 OPS. And Ray Pushups, one of the best pitchers in the league, if not the best pitcher in the league, a .63 ERA, .77 WHIP, less than 200 batting average against, over 14 and a third innings with 14 Ks, striking out one batter every inning just about, and the average batter he faces is batting under the Mendoza line. That's just incredible, especially in such a high-powered offense league like the Piggy Bank Power League. Some other names that are appearing on the top 10 here. We got Corinna Horn for the Piss Missiles, having a very good season for herself. Rowan Kennedy also doing very well for RNG Legends. Dipper Foley, the second best pitcher on this list, he's rocking a 2.03 ERA, but his whip is very small. His average is really low. He's got 13 innings and 12 Ks, and he's also got 2 saves. So these are some relievers here that are doing some good work. Grady Jacobs has a .73 ERA, so he allows less runs, but he's got more base runners on base against him, and he's allowing a higher average over less innings. So you can see why Dipper Foley gets the nod here. Just unlucky with the run allowing, but great prevention of just getting guys on base. Chance Shannon having a great rookie season for the Nice Steak Dingers. He is most likely going to be locking up Rookie of the Year pretty quickly here, but we will take a look at the end of the season for our awards, as well as the All-Star team, best player at each position, and then the best starter and reliever as well. That'll be most likely what we're going to look at here, and we'll keep note of that throughout the history of the league. Last slot here is Timothy Plow, also having a great year for the Blasters. He's got 4 home runs, 10 RBIs, and an over 1,000 OPS. Very good stuff there. Just taking a look at the leaders in the generic stats here. Blaze Frazier still leading the league at a .500 batting average. He also has 3 more home runs than anybody else in the league, which is very impressive. Same with the RBIs. But as we saw in this episode, Thomas Butters got 6 RBIs all to himself last game, so he shot from off this list all the way up to second with 11 RBIs, chasing Blaze Frazier there. Zane McCarty actually has the highest on-base percentage, just over Blaze Frazier here at .520, but the slug is just ridiculous from Blaze Frazier. 1265 slug and an OPS of 1779, 400 points higher than Shiloh Fury and Peyton Peck. Just absolutely ridiculous. That being said, Rowan Kennedy actually leading the league in hits. He must be getting a lot of at-bats for the RNG Legends. He's got 19 hits to Blaze Frazier's 17, but he is, where is he on the average list? Down here at 463. So he's got a 40 points less of average with 2 more hits. That's interesting. Blaze Frazier has 10 extra base hits. We know 8 of those are home runs, so he's got a couple doubles in there as well. And then the negatives here, Duke Hammerhead leading the league in strikeouts with 12. Jasper Albright's got 11. Lots of strikeouts here for Drink and Drive. And you will see Carolina Cray Cray has 8. She got dumped from her team pretty quickly. I believe these 8 strikeouts came in the first 3 games, and then she got released. Kind of tough. Tough season for Carolina Cray Cray. Last up for batting, I believe, is the runs scored. Blaze Frazier, of course, 8 of those are himself. 5 more, he gets batted in by his teammates. Phil House still putting the team on his back for the Hustlers, even though they're having a down year. Leading the league in stolen bases, very good. And no Hustlers getting stuck on the caught stealing list. It is just a bunch of guys who've gotten caught twice. Not a huge deal. Pitching, Adriel Roquette has the most wins, won all 3 of his starts. However, not anywhere near the earned run average leaderboard. That's going to go to Ray Pushups here, Grady Jacobs, and Orbit Lowry. Those are the 3 pitchers with a sub-1 ERA. 3 guys to look out for the Cy Young Award for sure. Eliana Howell and Dipper Foley, the only players to save 2 games so far. Not a whole lot of save situations in the Piggy Bank Power League, I cannot lie. And we also only play a 16-game season, so nothing too crazy here. It happens. We move on. Whip, we have actually a good number of players, almost 10 with a sub-1 whip. Harry Yurt leading the league at .55 and a 137 batting average against. That is pretty crazy. Orbit Lowry leading the league in strikeouts with 16, but a couple players on his back with 15, and we go down 14 all the way to 13 here. So good amount of strikeouts here. These are probably players who are getting 1 or more strikeouts per inning. Pretty good. Strikeouts per 9, here you go. Yeah, all these guys on the list are getting 10 strikeouts per 9, which obviously adds up to a little over 1 strikeout per inning, sometimes more. This is 1.5. Very good job from Orbit Lowry. It's pretty crazy. We still have 7 pitchers who have not given up a walk yet. That's pretty funny. But there's not a lot of walks in this league. It happens. And then the strikeout to walk ratio. Obviously, you guys have all seen that before. But that is the current season standings. We have a lot of very obvious, very good players. Blaze Frazier is having an incredible year. Ray Pushups is having an incredible year. Shiloh Fury, Peyton Peck. You guys see these players in and out in the highlights, and you see the kind of damage that they're doing to the opposing teams. So kind of the names you expect. Nothing too crazy here. Nothing ridiculous. No surprises so far. But we are going to keep an eye on those players as we look for the MVP, the Cy Young, the Rookie of the Year, and all of our all-star, all-pro players, whatever we want to call them. Jumping into the schedule real quick before we wrap up. Next slate of games is going to be right here. There we go. So halfway through, we've played 48 games. There are 96 on the docket, so we're exactly halfway through, even though some teams are over and some teams are under 8 games. Nothing we can do about that. Next week, we are looking at Drink and Drive versus the Stingers, Sacktown Scrimps versus the King Boo Bombers, Blasters versus the Princes, Dragons versus the Hustlers, and the Nice Steak Dingers versus the Piss Missiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the Dingers the Hogs and the Stingers. There we go. So that will get us into week 9. Orbit Lowry on the mound for the Hogs. That'll be an interesting one to watch, but that's where we're at. Week 8, we're halfway through this season. King Boo Bombers and the Blasters still trying to maintain their lead and get into the playoffs here, but it really is anybody's game. Thank you all for watching. This has been the Week 8 and mid-season recap, and I will see you all in Week 9.